Why Me 380 will run favourite. And they're off and they're racing. Savorsky missed the kick a little. Back there with the tail enders getting going. Longines off the inside amongst the first to move. Barramundi Jump Well I Dreamed a Dream. Henry Has Spoken. Romeo charging up there, pulling its way forward through the first 250. Star Rating settled behind those outside Magic Whistle. Then Boys Light Up. Why Me 3 deep going up onto that far corner. Savorsky's made up ground. Knock one back there with those, and also Antique Queen and His Eminence dropping out to be last of all as Romeo presses on and takes over. It's the leader going into the back. They've got 1,250 left to go, and Romeo found himself in front from Barramundi. 3/4 of a length away. Then on the rails next of all is Henry Has Spoken. 3/4 I Dreamed a Dream. 5th Longines, a length and a half. Star Rating. Over on the inside is Magic Whistle as they gallop along by the 1,000. A move coming from Antique Queen. She's striding around the field 3 deep coming down the riverside of the course. Moved up now in front of Why Me. Boys Light Up and knock one back, a further back in the field. Over on the inside, Savorsky, and toward the tail, His Eminence. In this order, at the 700, they travel behind Romeo. It's Romeo who calls the shots in the last over. Barramundi. Henry Has Spoken third. Antique Queen continues to move around them now, striding up there right over the speed. Why Me's on its back as well. And then in the middle, I Dreamed a Dream. Longines tucked up near the rail. Star Rating behind those. And around them very wide on the home corner, His Eminence at the top of the straight. Romeo balances up in front. Antique Queen is in pursuit but has covered a bit of territory. Down the outside is I Dreamed a Dream. Why Me is further back. Romeo, Antique Queen and I Dreamed a Dream. It's Romeo fighting tooth and nail though from I Dreamed a Dream, trying hard to get on terms. Romeo fights, digs in. Romeo has held I Dreamed a Dream. Third Longines. Antique Queen battled away for fourth. Behind them Why Me, and then came Magic Whistle. Star Rating knock one back. Then Savorsky. His Eminence is next home. Barramundi back behind them, and then Henry Has Spoken, and back with those towards the rear is Boys Light Up. Tight finish. Romeo though. Number 5, Sean O'Donnell, to give Sean the second leg of a double after being sent to the lead. Unfamiliar tactics for Romeo, but has delivered the right result, beating I Dreamed a Dream and third home Longines in front of Antique Queen. His run came to an end at the 100-metre mark. Romeo, number 5, is first. It was into 650 late. They climbed aboard in the final few moments for owner trainer Cliff Green. Third win from 19. Racing pretty consistently as well. And Cliff, is saddled up a 100 to 1 pop place getter in the feature, has come out and saddled up the winner of the last today in Romeo by Demerit. Sean O'Donnell with the double in 51.92, so he rated it beautifully. Half ahead, a length and a half of the margins in 35.15 the sectional. Second, I Dreamed a Dream, Jared Noski. Third home for Longines, Brad Parnham. It's 5, 3, 4 and 9 to the last event of the day. And again, punters thought that maybe Romeo was worth a little sniff there. Didn't see the tactical change coming from barrier 14. Sean decided we'll go forward. Just let the race pan how it will, and then size it up from there, and he was able to get to the front economically, and from that point sprinted off the corner after rating it beautifully throughout, and has held on from I Dreamed a Dream and Longines. Right, let's go to Lockie down in the yard after the final event for the day, which ends on a really good note for owner trainer Cliffy Green.
It does, Darren, and it continues a great run of form for Cliff and his small team over the last couple of months. As he joins me now, Cliff. Romeo, he had an awkward draw to overcome on paper, 13 of 13, and he found himself in an unfamiliar position out in front. What were your thoughts as the race transpired?
Yeah, well, I didn't think he could lead and win, but he's proved that wrong. But I left it to Sean. Wasn't much point to pulling back from barrier 14. You're going to get stuck behind a lot of horses and have no chance. So he said, well, just let it roll forward, see where we end up. We didn't expect to be leading, so we thought we'd be midfield with cover, but obviously that didn't work. But yeah, had a nice little kick off the corner and probably got a couple of cheap sectionals there. And yeah, Sean rode him a treat.
To the horse's credit, he still had to do a fair amount of work in the early stages of the race to find the front, but even despite that, he was just so tough late.
Yeah, he did do a lot of work. He is very fit. He's I think was that his 5th or 6th start in, and I suppose today was a chance that you had to take. And yeah, very, very tough. But he's also shown that he's a fairly handy horse. I think he'll go to a lot better level. But he's also a horse that's never drawn a gate. He just can't get a gate. And then when he does, he gets stuck on the fence and can't get out. So it's been a tough gig with this horse.
Out to 1,800 metres today. Do you feel like he has the scope to get out over a little bit further, and perhaps you could just continue to ride him in this manner?
Yeah, I think now he's going to go up in trip. That's probably what we'll do. I think he'll get 2,200.
How about the run of Benji's in the feature? Huge.
Yeah, he was. 2 years ago, he was that horse. It's taken a long time to get him back after injury. So hopefully he's half back anyway.
Fingers crossed, but the team's absolutely flying. Well done on winning the last, Cliff.
Thanks, Lockie. Cheers.
There's Cliff Green after the win of ROMMEO, and it also brings up a double for Sean O'Donnell after the win of All Play a little earlier on this afternoon, Riley. But as Cliff said, certainly wasn't the plan to find the front, and I'm not sure if anyone really expected ROMMEO to find the front, but they may have just learnt something new about the horse today.
Exactly right, Lockie. It was always a difficult race to try and attack from a form sense, but I certainly wouldn't have had ROMMEO leading throughout and clinging on from a speed map perspective. But Cliffy Green's done a terrific job with this horse this campaign. Lockie, he's clearly in career best form. He's been a difficult horse to catch over the journey, but he's appreciated being stepped up in trip this campaign, and he's racing a little bit more genuinely as well.
Exactly right. That was only his 3rd win from 19 starts, and he's still only lowly rated as well. So perhaps now, with the benefit of a second confidence-boosting win this preparation, he can go on with it now. But a man that continues to just do good things in the saddle is Sean O'Donnell, and here he is catching up with Riley.
We'll catch up with Sean O'Donnell just after he quickly weighs in here, Lockie. But, gee, it was a great example of using your initiative there, the ride from that barrier. The horse seemed to want to fight Sean a little bit early in the piece. But, Sean, that was thinking on your feet at its finest. I'm sure it wasn't the plan to lead with the horse, but it turned out well in the end.
Well, Cliffy gave me a licence to do whatever, and he suggested go forward more than back because he just keeps whacking away like last start. It looked a bit plain, but he just couldn't sprint with him. He jumped well, and I was going to sit outside Jade's horse, but he was tugging a bit, so I decided to roll forward, and that was a winning move because he switched off, and then I could dictate it myself. So
Cliffy's done a great job with this horse, hasn't he, Sean? He's been a difficult horse to catch over the journey, but it's certainly been his best preparation to date.
Yeah, I think this prep, everything's starting to drop. There's still a lot to go into that little brain of his, but what he has got is a lot of toughness, and I'm sure he's got a little bit of ability, but age and strength, that'll enhance it a bit more. So very proud of him. Great job by the team. We don't see him much anymore because they live in Albany and here and there. So fantastic. You know, Sarah does all the work. Great job by her. And Cliffy to condition him today, and my well-executed ride.
How do you celebrate a double tonight, Sean?
I'm not riding tomorrow, so I think I'll have one scotch. I might pass out, but had 7 rides. It's bloody hot. But you know what? Who gives a stuff? I'm going for all.
A very well-deserved day off, Sean. Congratulations on a double and a great result for Cliffy Green in the last.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks everyone in the media and all that. You do a great job, and all the fans out here, fantastic. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thanks, Sean.
Good night. Thank you.
There's Sean O'Donnell. What a man. He's one of the most positive people you'll ever meet, and it's always great to see him ride winners, and that rounds out what has been a fantastic day here at Ascot on Celebration of Life Day, Trophy Day. Tessa, is there a highlight or two amongst the 9-race card for yourself?
I think, well, the one winner that I did tip, All Play All Day, I do obviously love that horse, and I think it's going to be a really nice horse for Trevor Andrews and the team there. So one of Domino's other winners today. But rushing to the bar was a big effort too. It was great to see Bon Joy get up though for Jason Miller and his family. There's no better feeling, I'm sure you know, Lockie, when the family get behind it and the big team and the support. It's just fantastic.
There are 3 horses that we certainly need to keep an eye on, not only for their next starts, but in the months to come here in the West. Riley, how about yourself?
Yeah, I would say Bon Joy, Lockie, with what they've had to go through with this mare, this campaign. It was a remarkable training performance to get her to win, off a little setback, 5 weeks between runs. And I do hope they dream big with her and they have some railway ambitions if they can keep her soundness and her little quirks in check over the next 8 to 9 months. I'm not sure what is in the pipeline for her for the remainder of this campaign, but she's just a beauty, isn't she? She's won 10 races now. It's been a remarkable career to date, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it continues to evolve. All play, I'm excited to see what this emerging sprinter can do over the next 12 months as well, and gee, hasn't London's image furnished into a classy filly?
Exactly right. I'm so excited to see her in a Breeders' Classic down at Bunbury in a couple of weeks' time, and then on to a Magic Millions 3-year-old plate, which is shaping up to be one of the races of the early autumn carnival. But that's all we have time for here at Ascot for the Celebration of Life Day here at Ascot. That's all we have time for. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at Mount Barker, where Michael Heaton and Matthew French will be joining you for the Mount Barker Sprint Day.